The moment the grand hall fell completely silent, it felt as if the air itself had stopped. Chandeliers glowed over polished marble floors, and guests froze in place, waiting for a decision everyone assumed was already made. This wasn't about status or tradition alone. It was a moment that could quietly change lives forever. At the center stood a man of influence, and a family desperate to secure their future, unaware that a single honest choice was about to shake everything they thought they knew. Before we continue, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and stories that show real worth, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Also, leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your support helps these stories reach more hearts. The Duke, Alaric Hawthorne, was known not just for his wealth, but for his quiet integrity. He had inherited a vast, centuries-old estate and a reputation for fairness that was rare in elite circles. When he arrived at the Witmore estate that afternoon, everyone assumed his purpose was obvious. The Witmores had 2 daughters, and tradition dictated that alliances were built through status, appearances, and approval. The elder daughter, Selene Witmore, drew admiration wherever she went. Praised for her beauty, celebrated for her confidence, always the center of attention. The younger daughter, Mara Witmore, stood slightly behind, often unnoticed, her calm nature mistaken for weakness. Mara had learned early how easy it was to disappear without leaving the room. She carried herself with quiet dignity, never demanding attention, never interrupting conversations that flowed past her. While Selene was guided toward praise and public acclaim, Mara found comfort in gardens and libraries, learning to observe rather than perform. Their father, Aldrich Witmore, obsessed with reputation, believed success had to be shown, not quietly grown. As preparations for the Duke's visit continued, the house buzzed with unspoken expectations. Every glance, every arrangement, pointed to Selene. Mara noticed it all but remained silent. Years of being overlooked had taught her silence was safer than hope. She didn't resent her sister but accepted her place, or so she believed. When the moment arrived, Aldrich Witmore guided the Duke through the hall with practiced confidence. He spoke of legacy, prosperity, and the importance of outward perfection. Without hesitation, he gestured to Selene, presenting her as the obvious choice. To him, it seemed decided before it had begun. But Alaric Hawthorne wasn't listening to what was offered, he was watching what was revealed. He saw Selene's effortless smile, used to admiration. He also saw Mara, standing quietly at the edge, hands folded, eyes calm but alert, neither seeking attention nor shrinking from the moment. There was a stillness in her that came from awareness, not fear. As the room waited, Alaric felt something unexpected, a sudden clarity. He had seen countless polished faces and rehearsed virtues, but sincerity untouched by performance was rare. His choice, when made, broke the expected script. Reactions were instant and unspoken. Murmurs spread through the guests. Aldrich Witmore's confidence wavered, his carefully crafted plan cracking before him. Selene remained composed, but surprise flickered across her face. Mara, however, felt time stretch. She wasn't ready for attention, especially not like this. Her heart raced, not with excitement, but disbelief. In the days that followed, the estate buzzed with speculation. Why would a duke choose the daughter no one praised? Why turn away from the perfection everyone expected? Whispers circulated, some doubted the choice entirely. Mara felt the weight of judgment pressing down, yet inside she stayed steady. For the first time, she wasn't chosen despite who she was. She was chosen because of who she truly was. As plans formed, Alaric took time to know Mara beyond appearances. He discovered her love for learning, her care for those working quietly behind the scenes, and her belief that dignity wasn't granted by status. Mara, in turn, saw men who valued depth over display, whose authority came from responsibility, not pride. Not everything was easy. Aldrich Witmore struggled to hide his disappointment, and society's expectations loomed heavily. Mara faced moments of doubt, wondering if she truly belonged in a world that had never made room for her. Yet each step forward revealed that being overlooked had given her a quiet strength others never needed to develop. Slowly, perspectives began to shift. Staff who had noticed Mara's kindness finally felt seen. Guests who once dismissed her were surprised by her insight and grace. Even Selene, used to admiration, came to understand that worth wasn't a contest, but a spectrum. Mara's journey wasn't about becoming someone else. It was about letting herself be visible without changing who she was. She learned that rejection had never defined her, it had prepared her. And Alaric hadn't rescued her, he had recognized her. As the seasons turned and the story spread, it became less about a duke's unexpected choice, and more about the quiet power of authenticity. People spoke of how real value often stands silently, waiting for someone willing to see beyond the obvious. If this story touches your heart, please like, share, and comment if you believe kindness can change destinies. Near the end of the celebration marking their union, Mara looked around, not with pride, but with gratitude. She had been chosen not because she fit an image, but because she embodied something real. And that realization, more than any title or recognition, became her greatest reward. Before this story ends, one special request: comment the word "seen" if you believe quiet hearts deserve recognition too. Because sometimes the most powerful choice isn't the one everyone expects, but the one that finally sees the person who was always there.